Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of the Hypeman's AFL Uncensored, where every subject on and off the field is topic for conversation. Let's get into it. First off, we'll start with Willie Rioli's retirement. The 30-year-old has decided to hang up the boots. After 109 games across West Coast and Port Adelaide, he's decided that's it for me. But he has been surrounded by controversy for most, if not all, of his career. The first one in 2019, where he was caught trying to swap out a urine sample after smoking marijuana with his teammates the night before. Subsequently, the AFL suspended him indefinitely. But after investigations into the anti-doping rules, AFL gave him a backdated 2-year suspension in 2021, allowing him to rejoin the season in 2021. In April 2021, whilst he was travelling through Darwin Airport, he got arrested and found that he was carrying 25 grams of marijuana. He was charged and pled guilty and received a good behaviour bond. He then, earlier this season, got suspended for one game after he made threats towards Bailey Dale, and it was later proven that he'd made threats to Geelong and Essendon players previously in 2024. You can't help but wonder, was this all off-field controversy part of the reason why he hung up the boots a few years before he probably should have? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, but I reckon he could have got a couple more years out of his body, but given all the controversy, unfortunately, this is where we land. Anyway, Tom De Koning to St Kilda. Tom, congratulations on chasing the money. As if we didn't already know you were leaving, but you formally announced it on Wednesday to Carlton that you're leaving. We sort of figured after your 100th game speech you were saying see you later, and you did. You chased the money. Good on you. St Kilda, what are you doing? Offering Tom De Koning $1.7 million per season. He is not worth that much. He hasn't got kicked more than 9 goals in a season, and he averages 12 to 13 disposals a game. I am sorry, but that isn't worth $1.7 million a season. Anyway, good luck with that, St Kilda. We hope to see how that turns out. And I'm looking forward to it personally on how that turns out. Because yeah, Tom De Koning ain't that good. Anyway, and no bias. Like, I'm going off stats here, so sorry. Jeremy Cameron has won his second Coleman medal, 6 years after winning his first. The Ford has kicked 83 career goals this season, and the question is, can he make his 100? Well, the answer is if Geelong make the grand final, it's possible. Does he kick his goal at the big dance, though? If Geelong make it. Let's see if Geelong make it first. He's only 17 away from that 100. And let's see if the AFL allow the spectators to take to the field like they did with Buddy Franklin. I doubt it. If it's at the grand final, I doubt they're going to allow that. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Good luck to Jeremy Cameron. Look, it's impressive that you can kick 100 goals in a home and away and final series, but it'd be even better if you got them in just the home and away season. Anyway, let's talk finals. It's only taken 15 years and for them to get Damien Hardwick on board as a coach. But Gold Coast have finally broken their finals virginity. Congratulations, Gold Coast. But can you go all the way? Or will finals nerves get the better of you and will you bomb out against Freo this Saturday? We'll wait and see. I personally hope that you do beat Freo on Saturday and you make it to the next round. But we'll see. Speaking of Freo, they are the only team from the 16-team era to still be without a premiership. Questionable for the 16-team era, but they're without a premiership. Freo, you have a lot to prove this final series. And if you lose against Gold Coast, I'm sorry, but I'll have the tissues waiting for your supporters. Anyway, we'll see how that game turns out. Either way, it's going to end up in tears for one team and joy for the other. GWS are also in the finals. They are also without an AFL premiership, despite having appeared in a grand final. Unfortunately, Richmond demolished you in your grand final. So we'll overlook that one. But either way, we're looking at three teams without a grand final, without an AFL premiership win in the finals this year. There's only possibility for two to make it through to the next round. Let's see who it is. Hopefully GWS can get over Hawthorn and either Gold Coast or Freo. We'll see. The other teams are pretty evenly matched in the way of finals experience, being Adelaide, Geelong, Brisbane, Collingwood and Hawthorn. It's shaping up to be a hell of a final series, no matter who you support. Personally, I hope Gold Coast go all the way. Let's cheer on the underdog. All right, we're going to circle back to Carlton for a minute in other trade news. Silvani and Curnow. The great Silvani name leaving Carlton after a few years of controversy. We'll see how that turns out. But where does Silvani land? You have Western Bulldogs, you have Collingwood, and now St Kilda interested in Silvani. Where does he land? We'll have to watch this trade period real closely. Personally, I hope that Western Bulldogs pick him up because Collingwood, no one wants to play for Collingwood. And St Kilda, stop being so greedy. You've got enough good talent. And you can't make the salary cap. You're paying Naz $2 million a year. You're paying Tom DeConing $1.7 million a year. Just stop with that salary cap bullshit. Like, you're going to blow out your salary cap if you sign another one. Just stop being greedy. Anyway, well, Curnow has been linked to Sydney Swans. Now, that is going to be the best move since Buddy Franklin went to Sydney Swans. Okay? Curnow to Sydney. Buddy came out of his shell at Sydney. Sydney bring players out of their shell. Who knows where Curnow ends up? With all these massive exits from Carlton, where does that leave Carlton in the 2026 season? Me personally, I reckon it'll be the bottom of the ladder. Just because they've lost so many. And they're a team that's falling apart, ultimately. All right, so hot off the press, guys. Snoop Dogg Grand Final entertainment. Let's get on to this. After all the controversy and woke people calling for the AFL to axe Snoop Dogg as the grand final entertainment, I say shut up. And here's why I say shut up. Snoop Dogg's already signed a contract with the AFL. It will cost the AFL more to cancel Snoop Dogg's contract and pay him out and then find another talent to replace him. So he ain't going anywhere. The AFL are going to continue with him. All right, Snoop Dogg has been around for 3 decades, okay? He's been speaking his mind for over 3 decades. He ain't going to change overnight to please all you woke and politically correct people. He's going to come out and he's going to perform for the millions of Snoop Dogg fanatics that are around the world on the AFL's biggest stage in front of 100,000 Victorians or South Australians or whoever ends up in the grand final. We'll wait and see. Meanwhile, Snoop Dogg has also arranged 2 other performances while he's here in Australia. One in Melbourne, grand final eve. I think that's going to be at Love Machine nightclub. Keep an eye on this space. And the second one is in Sydney. Sydney fans, make sure you book your tickets well in advance because it is going to be hot. So let's go. Anyway, guys, that wraps up this episode of AFL Uncensored. Stay tuned for more. Make sure you leave your comments down below, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.